In this lecture, we will learn about the Vingere Cipher and how to implement it in Python. The Vingere Cipher is a method of encrypting alphabetic text. It uses polyalphabetic substitution, which means substituting letters from multiple alphabets at different points in the algorithm. It relies on the Vingere table, aka the Vingere square, a 26 by 26 grid of the alphabet, where each of the letters is offset differently in each spot. At different points in the encryption process, the cipher uses a different alphabet from one of the rows. The alphabet used at each point depends on a repeating keyword. Let's write the Python code to implement the Vingere cipher. We will create a function named generateKey that takes in two parameters, message and key. Inside of this function, we will create a variable named key and set it equal to a list with key passed in to make a list out of each of the letters in the key. If the length of the message equals the length of the key, we will return the key. Else, we will have a for loop. For I in range len message minus len key. Inside of the for loop, we will type key.append and pass in key at index I modulus len of the key. Outside of the for loop, we will join the key into a string and return it. Next, we will create a function responsible for creating the ciphertext. We will use Python's def keyword and name the function ciphertext. It will take in two parameters, message and key. Inside of this function, we will create a variable named ciphertext and set it equal to an empty list. Then we will have a for loop for I in range len message. After that, we will create a variable x that we set equal to ord with message at index I plus ord with key at index I modulus 26. Next, we will append ord a to x. After that, we will type ciphertext.append and pass in x converted to a character using the chr function. Outside of the for loop, we will return the ciphertext joined together in a string. Now we need to create a function responsible for decrypting the ciphertext back into the original message. We will create a function named originalText that will take in two parameters, ciphertext and key. Inside of this function, we will create a variable named origeText and set it to an empty list. Then we will have a for loop for I in range len ciphertext. Inside of the for loop, we will set x equal to ord ciphertext at index I minus ord key at index I plus 26 modulus 26. Then we will add ord of the string a to the variable x. Next, we will append x converted to a character to our original text variable. Outside of the for loop, we will return original text joined together as a string. Time to test our code. We will create a variable named message and set it equal to the string hello world. In order for our program to work, please note that we have to use all capital letters with no spaces. Next, we will create a variable named keyword and set it equal to the string special. This can be any string you'd like. The algorithm will use this to determine which spot in the Vingere square to use when encrypting the text. Then we will create a variable named key, which we set equal to a call to the generateKey function with message passed in as the first argument and keyword passed in as the second argument. After that, we will create a variable named ciphertext, which we set equal to a call to the ciphertext function with message passed in as the first argument and key passed in as the second argument. Then we will print out the encrypted message, aka the ciphertext, followed by the original decrypted text. When we run the code, you will notice that the encrypted message was printed out and then properly decrypted back into the original message, hello world. Great job! You just learned how to implement the Vingere cipher using Python code. In the next lecture, we will learn about the one-time pad cipher and how to implement it in Python.